Have a look. The toughest opponent that I ever had was Tony Adams. He was a centre half. Captain, leader, winner. He was as hard as they come. You knew that defenders then could give you one smash before they were going to get a yellow card. So you're always in the game, when the ball's coming to you, you always got one eye thinking, where's the defender? Because you know in the first 10 or 15 minutes, you were going to get smashed, more so at Highbury than anywhere. Steve Ball, Lee Dixon, Winterburn, Martin Keown, David Seaman in behind them. I mean, they were one of the best back fours we've ever seen in English football, I think. I mean, I had some great battles with Tony Adams, but the good thing is we used to shake hands at the end of the game, go and have a pint, and then sort of move on and look forward to the next battle. The tunnel's a good place to be sometimes after a game, or interesting I should say. Plenty of scraps and fights, punches have been thrown. And Roy Keane was a tough opponent at Man United, didn't know him at all, didn't really acknowledge or didn't really look at him because he knew he wasn't going to look at you, so what's the point? Had a few rows with him, he got sent off once for trying to punch me at Newcastle. It was right at the end of the game and of course he was waiting outside the dressing room for us when we went up the stairs in the tunnel, but we couldn't get near each other. Unfortunately, it would have been an interesting battle. This one here with myself and Neil Ruddock. First played against him when he was at Millwall and I was at Southampton as a kid. He gave me a lesson in being physical, really. As a centre half, he sort of bullied me the whole game. And our manager was there watching us at the time, Chris Nicholl, and he got me in and he gave me one of the biggest rollickins ever because I'd been bullied by this big centre half. And then Chris Nicholl sort of signed him for Southampton and we became very good friends, and he was godparent for one of my kids and I was a similar for one of his kids. Ab signed for Blackburn, he signed for Liverpool. We ended up living near each other again. And then this picture here is that when we come together, we sort of took the aggression bit a little bit too far. I think he done me in a tackle, and I sort of get up and grab him by the throat, and you can see him pointing to me here, and he signs the picture. So while we're loving big kisses. In my time, when we were going to try and win, and we were up against the might of Man United and Liverpool. There were probably more important fixtures, but in terms of ones you'd look forward to then. Derbies are always special because you can get away with a little bit more. The referees allow a little bit more flow to the game. If you're allowed to go in with a stronger tackle, there's more atmosphere. I mean, Sunderland were never challenging for anything. So in terms of the bigger games, they were always against the teams that were challenging in terms of Man United, but they were great games to play. My best record I know scoring goals Premier League was against Leeds. For whatever reason, I always scored against Leeds United, both home and away. I was devastated when Leeds got relegated because it cost me 2 or 3 goals a season. I mean, the side that United had when they won the treble was unbelievable. The side that Arsenal had, when Newcastle went in against those teams in the FA Cup finals, Man United won the treble that year, Arsenal won the double that year. I think we were a tad unlucky that we caught them when they were going for something very, very special. The Invincibles I mean, they could do anything. If they wanted to play, so in terms of technique, they could cope with that. They were as good as any. If you wanted to have a fight and a scrap, which you had to do, they were as good as any. I mean, when you look at City last season, Liverpool, what they're doing now, then these teams would be right up there with them. There's no doubt about that. There's a one here with Patrick Vieira. He's giving me the finger, pointing at me for whatever reason. He probably kicked me and I had to go back, something like that. Martin Keown. Martin was horrible to play against. He was easy to wind up as well. I mean, he would kick you, pinch you, nip you. you could say things to Martin and he would have a little bite straight away, which was half the fun. But he was part of that Arsenal back four that felt it was okay to come sidling through the back here. Yeah, I look at it. I look now and I don't see defending being as good now as it was 20 years ago. When you talk about Adams, Terry, and Ferdinand, and Jaap Stam to Steve Bruce, I don't see defending being as good now as it was then. If you don't look after yourself, then no one's going to look after you. And if you allow yourself to be bullied, you'll be walked all over. So yeah, I give as good as I got. I mean, I remember coming away from Highbury playing against Tony Adams with a cut eye, 5 or 6 stitches, a cut lip, 5 or 6 stitches with elbows, but that was sort of, that was accepted that it was part of the game. But I give as good as I got.